All right, welcome to the Road Cheater Project. We are back on the episode, and this is Comic Wednesday 2.0 on a Thursday because yesterday's stream got all fucked up because guess who? I'm not perfect, so I had mostly all the mics turned off. If anybody knows how Wirecast works, I had that all fucked up. But here's the thing. This is the thing that I'm not perfect, and here we are. But we pick ourselves back up and we do it again. So I want to bring you some of this content of what I got from yesterday's comic book haul. So here we are. But yeah, that shit was all janky yesterday, and I had no idea. And by the time it was uploaded, I was just like, man, I'm just gonna go to bed, try this tomorrow. So here we are. But that leaves me a good opportunity to talk about um, this particular point. This is not the most flashy thing you're going to see. This is not the most. I'm not the most flamboyant and most charismatic individual that probably is on YouTube. But what I don't have in those areas is what I make up for in other areas is I have a lot of spirit. This project has a lot of spirit, and I'm gonna keep bringing content. I'm gonna keep doing this until the cows come home. I'm gonna keep talking about comic books. I'm gonna keep talking about anime. I'm gonna keep talking about this rosary. I'm gonna keep talking about Mary, Mother of God. I'm gonna keep talking about all that stuff until I'm blue in the face. So I ain't stopping and I ain't quitting. Just like Vegeta, just like Goku, and just like a whole bunch of other people that we have discussed and going to discuss on this project. But that being the case, Goku's running just fine. So check out the AMVs and stuff like that we're doing on that, and then also a whole bunch of other stuff is coming up. So always something new on a project, and so I got a whole bunch of stuff in the mill, a whole bunch of stuff that's already been developed and waiting to be pushed out, and a whole bunch of stuff that's in development, still in the creation stage. So stick with us. So Road Cheetah Project is Road Cheetah Boy, Team Sega all day, Team Reverse Blade all day, and Comic Book Wednesday on a Thursday. How about that? All right. So shout out to all of Kansas. Let me know where you're from. Let me know how things are going out in as far as your projects, as far as what you're pushing forward to, what's going on with you, what are you looking to make happen in your life. Let me know so we can get that, so we can spread that love and spread that message across, so get you some shine and just also put it out there in the universe. All right, so with that being the case, the podcast is also available on Stitcher. The podcast is available on iTunes, and then also you can also hit me up on Twitter as well. And then always email as well. RoadCheetahBoy@gmail.com. The Twitter handle is Brandon MT Wayne. It's all linked up on the YouTube page. And then also shout out to all the YouTube squad, YouTube fam that shows love, music anime channel, and Pachuco Night and Carefree X. And then a slew of others. So shout out to you as well. It's all love, and I just hope we all can grow together. And a year or so from now, we'll be like, man, look where we started. Look where it was when we first met each other. Look where it is now. So hopefully that could be the case too. But again, hit me up on Twitter or comment, subscribe if you haven't on the podcast and on this side of the project. So it's all a bit encompassing thing. What we're here to do. We're here to talk about music. We're here to talk about anime. We're here to talk about life. We're here to talk about spirituality. But most of all, spirituality is the biggest part of it. Getting ourselves into heaven, getting ourselves in a position to be in heaven. At least be in the running, right? And also we're talking about fatherhood on the project and just a whole bunch of other things. But but we all wrapping around this love and this admiration for these iconic heroic characters such as Goku, such as Vegeta, such as and stable anime such as Cowboy Bebop, Spike, and then a whole bunch of other stuff that we got coming up, Trigun, and a whole bunch of other things we're throwing in the middle here. So that being the case, now that we're on the topic of superheroes and all that good stuff, let's hop into what we talked about yesterday while the fucking raggedy feed was going in and out, and that's my fault. I'm sorry. And that is the B-Man. You can't talk about superheroes without talking about Batman, right? And as I was saying yesterday, while I was fucking up, is Batman is probably in my opinion, the greatest comic book superhero of all time, and is definitely in the mix for greatest superhero of all time, just in general. I think I've said it before, and I guess I can't go back on that, but I give that to Goku straight up as being the number one superhero of all time. But Batman is a close second, if not they co-share that, like seriously. And then Spider-Man's in there somewhere, and then you have a whole slew of others, Rurouni Kenshin, Yusuke, and then a whole bunch of other characters. So let me know. Always email, comment, Twitter. Who's your favorite superhero and why? And have I got to them yet? Should I get to them at some point with AMVs or some kind of discussion? Because I love bringing superheroes to the table of all kinds, especially namely anime superheroes, but there's also the traditional superheroes as well. And here we are, Batman. So that being the case, you can't have a really good superhero without an even better villain, as it would seem, right? And that's what all this week was about when it comes to Batman. This has been a great time in Batman's history as far as comic books are concerned. It's been really, really dense. As I said yesterday, I'll say it again. From King's work on Batman, the mainstay Batman, to Shadow in the Batman, and then you have Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder joining back together for their metal and all the metal crossovers and the Justice Leagues and the Detective Comics and man, it's been a really, really good time for Batman. The war and jokes and riddles. It's been such a great time for Batman history, and I'm sad for anybody who's missing this boat. But pushing forward with the Batman history is this hardcover, this 2-part hardcover called Batman: The Dark Prince Charming. And this is the 1 out of 2. This is the cover that you're looking for that right here. I give this cover a 10 out of 10. It's shadowy. It's Batman's like kind of like on low key flex mode, and I really, really like it. And that's just the cover. If you look inside the book, you get the same thing, but a whole different kind of feel too. It's just such a landscapey, like, film kind of way of playing this out, and I guess it's how a hardcover should be. But it's legit, and I'm just completely in love with what I'm getting on the art. Now the story kind of starts off really slow, and the wording, the word choice, and with the lyrics, as I like to say, of the story it's kind of cheesy at first, but then when it starts really starting to blend in what's going on, and the characterization starts to sink in, it starts to make a lot of sense, and it just starts to really and capture you in this book. I feel like when I'm reading this book, I feel like I'm being transformed or metamorphed into exactly what's going on, and that's what I feel like I'm being pulled in, and that's exactly what you want. That's a grade A book. And then everything, man, from the city landscapes in the book to the Batcave right here, and then in this design on the Batmobile, this beast, I really like it. It's different, and then it's just it's shit like this throughout this whole book. It's just really like intricate and dense, and it's really, really good, and the story behind it is really, really good as well. It starts off a little kind of like I don't know if this is a good pickup for $13, but it actually this is a more bang for my buck than I've gotten in a long time for $13. I'll tell you that. Just from the art that I'm seeing and the story that's unfolding. And part 2 is probably gonna be extra beast because it's only 1 out of 2. So part 2 is gonna be the close. So I'm really looking forward to that. That being the case, though, we brought up the villain piece, right? You can't have a really good superhero without even more of a villain, and that's when this comes into play. Is with the fucking Joker. The Joker is such a crudball, such a turd sandwich, all the above, asshat, whatever you want to call him. He's really, really bad, and I don't know if there's anybody in any universe, anime, DC, Marvel, superhero, whatever, that's worse than the Joker. Every time I was seeing the Joker, since we get so much more Batman, we're getting a lot more Joker too, right? And every time I'm seeing a Joker here recently, he's just getting worse and worse. And I don't know if anybody's fucking with the Joker as far as villain is concerned. I mean, so who's now I ask you who your superheroes was, who you think the top villains are. I always bring up a few or a certain group, and that's Cell, and that's Shishio from Yu Hakusho, Shishio from Rurouni Kenshin. Shishio Rurouni Kenshin, and the Sensui from Yu Yu Hakusho, Shishio Rurouni Kenshin, McGillis from Iron Blooded Orphans Gundam has really stepped up in that ranking too. If you know anything about him, he's a real fuckball. And then there's a few others I'm probably leaving out, right? But you have Doctor Doom, you have Apocalypse, you have Galactus, maybe the Dark Phoenix, but they're all mega level. I'm talking about like people who are somewhat containable, but still are really just uncontainable still in their fuckery. And my number one villain is Shishio. I think Shishio is hands down the number one, at least anime villain. But I even put him in the ranking up there with the Joker. But the Joker is just this week from the literature that we're getting on him in association with Batman is kind of taking a cake, man. He's a fuckball. He's a real fuckball, and I invite you to go look at the Dark Prince Charming and what we're going to be talking about here shortly, as far as it's delving into the dichotomy or the whatever you want to call it, the madness that is the Joker, because it gets deep, man. And I don't understand. I don't understand why this guy hasn't been off yet. You know, I can understand why Batman hasn't done it, but I can't understand why somebody else ain't popped this guy yet. And obviously, though, if Joker goes, we don't have a Batman, right? And so that's for us. I mean, within the context of the story, Joker should have been got. You know, like, no, you can't have this guy like this running around. Like, he's too much, too much. But anyways, the cover is a 10 out of 10. The in-book art is a 10 out of 10, and the story is a 9 out of 10. So, if you can get a hold on Enrico Marini's Batman: The Dark Prince Charming 1 out of 2, it's a really, really good read, and you would not be disappointed. I try not to feed anybody who's listening or anybody's viewing or any of my subscribers or what have you. I'm never going to try to feed you bullshit. You know, if I don't fuck with it, I'm going to tell you I don't fuck with it. I'm going to tell you why I don't fuck with it. But if I do fuck with it, I'm going to pump it and I'm going to tell you why. And it's not anything extra. You know, DC, Bruce Wayne, and nobody's paying me to talk about this stuff. So I love it because I love it, and it's good because it's good. And when it's hot, it's hot. And that is this. Eric Marini's The Dark Prince Charming. It's hot. All right. So I would pick it up if you're in the comic books and the Batman. That's what this is what Wednesday on the Project is about. Batman kind of takes over, but we're here to talk about comic books in general as a whole. Out of the ones that I read, I can't read everything. That being the case, comic book awards is going to be popping up at some point soon on the project before the end of the month, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot to talk about there. So stay tuned for that. But I'm gonna do a award ceremony for all the comic books that I've read so far this year. And the year is going to be from January 1st to October 31st. So stand by any day now when I get my shit together. Any day this month, it's going to pop up and be a big kind of comic book award on this side of the project. I've made my mind up. It's going to be on YouTube. So stand by on that. And then also more housekeeping things. Subscribe if you haven't. And then also because the end of the season is coming soon for the project, I've decided that there's a lot of content out there on the podcast and on the YouTube side of the project, and I want to give people time to catch up and digest those things. So, and just on top of that, I give myself more space to create. I've been putting the AMV out every day since sometime in October. I've been doing an AMV every day. Every AMV on this side of the project drops every night at 12 a.m. So. If you're into anime, if you're into music, more oftentimes than hip hop, but don't sell me short. I like to throw some other things in there, some uppercuts as far as music is concerned, because hip hop and rap and R&B is not the only things I love. They're the things I love most, but there's some other things that I love too that I try to throw in the mix. So, but I just AMV it out, just trying to get to it, just trying to level up my creative muscle on that, and then see where that can go. But AMV every day until the end of November. And then November 30th is my birthday, and on November 30th will be the last AMV on the project until Easter. We're gonna take a season sabbatical, and so season 2 of the project is gonna start on Easter Monday, 2018. So there'll be no more podcast episodes, and there'll be no more AMVs or episodes on the YouTube side until Easter Monday. That'll give me more time to analyze things, to see where I can plus ultra and level up and dig deeper in my creative bag without having to feel like I have to release something every day, because that's you gain something with that, but then you also lose something. So I want to get back, draw back everything back into myself, into the lab, and see how much I can level up just from being in that kind of enclosed, no pressure to release kind of J. Cole kind of mindset. I've been on my Drake flow. I've been putting out shit all the time and they're really not giving people time to digest what's already out. But now it's time to retreat and do the J. Cole thing and just create and sit, and then eventually kapow, release. So that's how it's going to be. So hopefully you're enjoying everything so far. Like I said before, a lot of things are in development that I'm creating, and a lot of things are in development that's done, that just has to be released. So, and that includes pretty much any major anime, pretty much. All the ones that I like, but I like a lot of the major ones, a lot of the old stuff, so stay tuned. All right, Goku's running good, so all that's fine. So I say all that to say that there will be a break in the action here at the end of November. So FYI, and definitely sometime after the comic book awards, which is going to be done here shortly. Okay, the next book. Sorry about that. The next book is, let's talk about Batman the Devastator #1. I think it's probably going to be a one shot with my favorite artist, Tony S. Daniel. Like I said before, it's been a great time for Batman. Um, Batman history, Batman folklore, Batman, whatever you want to call it. It's been a great time. We've been getting a lot. We've been getting a lot on Bruce and a lot on Batman. And this is even more of a twist on that. We get to see what happens on the flip side. You know, if Batman gives into his more darker nature in certain instances, we get to see that. We talked about Dawnbreaker on the podcast when Batman gets the Green Lantern ring and how bad that goes and how much of a sobering experience that was. I think we might have talked about when Batman becomes the evil equivalent of Aquaman or Aquawoman or whatever. Something like that happens. And that one is just almost pretty bad. I haven't gotten to the Red Flash one and when Batman turns into the Werecar from Futurama. I haven't got to those things yet because we're backed up on Comic Book Wednesday. But that being the case, still regardless, we're getting a lot of dense and deep Batman stuff, and this is definitely one of them. This is up there because we get to see what happens when Batman just goes super dark, and it's not cute. It's not cute. Only thing cute about this is the art. Other than that, the story is going to drag you down in a good kind of way, and just the context is going to drag you down in a good kind of way because we get to see a Bruce that we really don't feel comfortable with looking at, but we can't put down the book, and this is that book. And Tony Daniel is probably hands down the best artist in the game right now, in my opinion. I know there's some other people you can bring into that mix. Howard Porter, Jimenez, maybe still even Jim Lee, Greg Capullo, Sean Murphy, as we're going to talk about here shortly. Now even Enrico Marini, but then you have Sandoval, you have Stegman, you have a whole bunch of people who are good at their shit, right? And I love all of them. I love all of them people we just mentioned. They are all beasts in their own respect. But if I had to pick one, gun to my head or alien race saying, "Hey, you gotta draw me some shit. And if it don't move me, then I'm blowing your shit up." I'm calling Tony Daniel, because and maybe Tony Daniel can mix with some of the other ones. Maybe they can do like a dream team thing. But Tony Daniel's gonna be definitely be in that on that squad. And I just love what I'm getting from this, man. Ever since Tony Daniel did Superman, Wonder Woman, I've been completely in love with this man's work. He's an absolute beast. So that being the case, the art in this book is 10 out of 10. The story is a 10 out of 10. And the cover is a 10 out of 10 because it's just from the context that we get. This is the cover right here. So the comic book awards just got really tricky because I kind of knew who was running away with it, but now we have another 10 out of 10 comic book here. We have some other ones that broach close to being 10 out of 10. It's not going to be very easy, so I would definitely stand by and tune into that when I get that up. It's going to be a live thing too, so I'm looking forward for some engagement on that, hopefully. But Tony Daniel's a beast. Danny Mickey's a beast as well. And then, the writer is a beast as well. I'm trying to figure out who that is. That is Tieri. That's Tieri. This is just a dream team here, Tieri, Daniel, and Mickey, and then Murray. It comes out. Everything comes out pretty sweet, except for what we see what happens to Bruce. But it's all a part of the story, and it's a fantastic story, fantastic art. It don't get no better than this, really. There's only a few comic books this year that's been better than this, and I guess we're gonna talk about, or that's been just as good as this, and I guess we're gonna talk about that right now. We've talked about some others in the past Comic Book Wednesday, so catch up on those if you haven't already. But we're going to talk about another beast-ass comic book right now that's just up there, all right? And that is Batman the White Knight #2. Sean Murphy, I had no idea who Sean Murphy was walking into this. I just pick up stuff as I like it, and I pick up stuff that seems cool to me. I don't really follow artists like that, except for like Tony Daniel. That being the case, I am going to sign up for the damage that he's doing. I think Mickey's doing that too with him, but that's a whole nother story. But, now I'm getting to the point where I'm following artists. I mean, because I do follow Howard Porter now, and I am going to follow Jimenez now. And speaking of Jimenez, we talked about Super Sons 8 and Super Sons 9 on the podcast, on the last episode of the podcast. So Super Sons has been dominating Comic Wednesdays on this project since day one, or since day two, because I really wasn't a big fan of it at first, but then it just knocked my socks off. So this day two, Super Sun's been dominating, but we had some things pop up here late in the game that's kind of shaking shit up as far as the war is going to go. And Batman White Knight is one of those. And we talked about the Joker earlier and how of a fucktard he is. Batman the White Knight goes even deeper than so far Marini's The Dark Prince Charming does, as far as letting us know how fucked up this individual is and what lengths he would go to fuck with somebody that he wants to really wants to fuck with. And it's very, very interesting. Batman the White Knight, the cover, 10 out of 10. The story, 10 out of 10. The art, 10 out of 10. I mean, this is just a fantastic book. Their number one was really close. I can't remember exactly what I gave number one, but I'm sure it wasn't anything less than a 9, regardless of what category it was. This shit is fucking fantastic. Not sure how many of those will be available anymore now, because I think the word's out on this beastly ass concept of a Batman story. So I would definitely check that out. And then same thing with the Devastator. If you can get a hold of them, I would do that as soon as possible. So it was a beastly week at the comic book shop. And I can't wait to bring all these to the table. That being the case, I still am going to do Comic Wednesdays during the seasonal hiatus until we restart the project or bring in season 2 of the project in Easter Monday. I still am going to do Comic Book Wednesday. That's the one thing that is going to not go away, because I still want to be able to keep contact and engage on this side of the project as well. But we'll be down from doing 7 episodes a week to just we're down to doing 1 here at the end of the month. So with that being the case, got a lot of things more to talk about on Comic Book Wednesdays. Justice League number 32. I'm recollecting old Spider-Mans. I'm not going to bring those to the table, but I'm just putting that out there for discussion's sake. I love the old Spider-Man, so I'm recollecting those. So I'll keep you updated on how that goes. I mean, when I say old Spider-Man, I mean a 90s Spider-Man. The books that came up on. I love the 90s style, everything, pretty much. 90s all day. We big on the 90s on this channel, on this project. Batman in the Shadow, number 2. Gotham City Garage, number 2. Batman the Merciless, number 1. Another Dark Metal tie-in, such as the same as Batman the Devastator, number 1, and the Dawnbreaker and all that stuff that we talked about before. Jean Grey 8. Action Comics 990, and then a whole bunch more shit that we haven't even got to yet. That's probably gonna be pretty interesting. So I would stay tuned, and also subscribe if you haven't, and then also again visit the podcast for more content. Oh, and there's also a website up. So anybody who's not familiar with me, the website will be theworldcheetahproject.net. But anybody who is following the YouTube and following the podcast, praise be to God. Thank you so much. At the moment, the website is not going to serve you much purpose, but for people who are still kind of unfamiliar, the website is where to go to get more context on where I'm coming from and see what you can get down with on the project and how we can level this thing up. And that's what all the sabbatical is going to be. That's all I'm going to be thinking about at the end of November to probably February. It's like, how can I plus ultra this? How can I level this? How can I level this whole thing up? How can I take this whole project to the next level? How can I reach more people? How can I get more engaging, more dynamic, just leveled up, more beastly content? So I'll be thinking about that. I'm thinking about that all the time, but I have a time to sit and stew on that without having to put out content at the same time. So that'd be good in the interim, and then it'd be good to be back at that point. But other than that, I think this Comic Book Wednesday, hopefully the one person out there watching heard all that, and then I'm not, all my mics are turned on and it's not all fucked up, and and then I'll have to redo this all again, and it seems silly and sounds silly. So, but man, this is the project. This is me, and again, like I said, We don't have a lot of fireworks. We don't have a lot of celebrity push or whatever, or sponsors and all that extra shit, whatever. I'm about people, but and then also I'm about spirit. Your spirit is your true shield, and I have a lot of spirit here. There's a lot of spirit in this project. So how about that? So let me know. Always comment. Let me know what you're enjoying. What you got a lot out of. What kind of value the one AMV gave over another, or am I wrong about a certain comic book? Am I wrong about a certain character? All that, man. Just let me know so we can get a discussion going, because I love having those kind of discussions. And then other than that, it's all lit. Comic Wednesday is gonna keep going, and then other than that, though, not much left on the project for season 1. So it's been a crazy ride since we started last Easter Monday. I've learned a lot, leveled up a few levels. I'm not stuck on level 2 out here, but how do we get to level 99 or level 100? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So it gets harder and harder to level up the higher you go, but that's a good thing. So, and that's what we have all these superheroes to inspire us to do. That's what that's one of my one of my main bits is, how can we infuse that Batman spirit, that Goku spirit, that Gohan spirit, and even on the nonfiction side, the Holy Spirit, the push forward and level us up through all the things we got to deal with in this life. There's a lot of drama to be had if you want it. There's a lot of death and there's a lot of despair to be had if you want it, but there's also life out here. Heaven's not hard to find. Shout out to Tupac. And it's the small things in life that really gonna make us. Not the money, not the not the clout, not the fame, not the material things, but the the more natural embraces. Love and mercy and grace and being free. A wise man once said, "He who is possessed by nothing possesses everything," and that's the realest shit I can give you right now. That's the realest shit I can give you on a short tip right now. But if you want more of all that stuff, please check out the podcast. We just don't get deep though. We try to have a lot of fun too at the same time. So with the AMVs and a lot of the discussion on the podcast side, it's not all heavy duty. I like to try to have. I think life should be about fun. I think spirituality should be about fun too. I don't think God's a boring God. I don't think heaven's going to be boring. So I don't think I should. I should try to make this stuff as lit and as entertaining as possible, but at the same time delivering some kind of value on how to be more. How to be more, just how to be more, and how to have more life and have it more abundantly. Praise be to God. Shout out to Drake as well. we bring him up. We bring him up a lot on this too. But other than that, just let me know how you're going. Let me know how you feeling. Twitter all day, and then I think I'm getting into Rambo territory, so I think I'm gonna cut it. But shout out to DC for the beast work you've been doing so far. Shout out to Tony Daniel. Still have to get to some more metal stuff and more life, more comic books, more everything. So I will see you next week and for Wednesday, but I'll definitely see you the rest of the month for AMV 12 a.m. every night. So fuck with your boy. So we'll see you next time. The Royal Cheetah Project. Thank you so much.